Welcome to One Bite is Everything, the podcast that connects the food on your plate to the bigger world. I'm your host, Dana DePrima. Today's episode pulls back the curtain on something most people will never get access to, what small farmers across America are actually asking for help with. Since 2022, the For Farmers movement has reviewed nearly 900 farmer grant applications from farms in almost every state in the country. And recently, another 45 farmers submitted projects through our Friend of a Farmer Choice Awards. Together, these applications create something much bigger than a grant program. They create a portrait of American farming right now. And honestly, the biggest surprise is not what farmers are asking for. It's what they're not asking for. Because if you asked most consumers what small farmers need, I think they'd say things like better marketing, more Instagram followers, better packaging, branding, exposure, maybe a cute farm store. But that's not what farmers are asking for at all. They're asking for water lines and fencing, for walk-in coolers and irrigation systems, handling equipment and shade structures, high tunnels and livestock infrastructure, feed systems, processing equipment, the kinds of things that most people never think about. The hidden infrastructure quietly holding our food system together. And once you see it, you can't really unsee it. So today, I want to take you inside what nearly 900 applications and project submissions have revealed about small farms in America, what surprised me most, and why these seemingly small needs actually tell a much bigger story about food and community, resilience, and the future of farming itself. Are you ready? Let's dig in. One of the things that surprised me the most through the For Farmers movement is how practical farmers are. These applications are not filled with wishful thinking or vanity projects. They're filled with bottlenecks, really specific bottlenecks. A farmer saying, if I can get this fencing in place, I can rotationally graze better. If I get this cooler, I can stop losing product. If I can finally install irrigation, I can survive inconsistent rainfall. If I can build this wash station, I can expand production safely. Again and again, the requests are incredibly grounded and sometimes heartbreakingly modest. A couple $1,000s, a repair, a system improvement, a tool, a structure, a solution to one very real operational problem. But what becomes clear very quickly is this. Small farms often operate on razor-thin margins where one missing piece of infrastructure can hold back an entire operation. And sometimes people ask me, well, it's only $500. Why don't they just buy it if it's going to help them that much? There just isn't the money. Anyway, I don't think that's something that most consumers understand. I think that we romanticize small farms, that red barn and the cute market stand and the beautiful vegetables in every color. But behind every one of those images is infrastructure. Water has to move, animals have to rotate, food has to stay cold, processing has to happen safely, storage matters, timing matters, and the weather and labor, they matter. The applications pull you out of the romantic version of farming and into the operational reality of it. And I think that reality makes farming even more impressive because these farmers are solving problems constantly. One of the clearest patterns across nearly 900 applications has been infrastructure tied to resilience. Not growth for growth's sake, not scaling endlessly. Resilience, like water systems and season extension, rotational grazing and soil health, weather protection, storage, efficiency. What kind of improvements can I make for efficiency's sake? In fact, when we looked across funded projects, more than 2/3 involve some form of land stewardship or environmental resilience. And here's what's fascinating. Most farmers are not using language like climate mitigation or environmental adaptation. They're saying we need better irrigation because the weather's unpredictable. We need healthier soil because our land is drying out. We need rotational grazing because the pasture needs time to recover. We need a high tunnel because the seasons are changing. The applications reveal something really important. Farmers are doing climate work without calling it climate work. They are adapting in real time on the front lines of climate, quietly and practically, without a whole lot of fanfare, and they're doing it while they're trying to keep their businesses alive. The new Friend of a Farmer Choice Award submissions reinforced this even further. 45 projects from 29 states. Farmers submitted 30-second videos on what they need. And again, we see it: livestock systems, fencing, coolers, more efficient water, greenhouses, processing, grazing, feed infrastructure, season extension. These are not luxury upgrades. These are often the exact things standing between growth and stagnation, stability and more vulnerability, survival and closure. And what struck me most is how community-oriented these projects really are. Because when a small farm becomes stronger, the impact doesn't stop at the farm gate. That farm buys locally. It employs locally, feeds locally, stewards land right there locally, and creates local food access. It keeps dollars circulating inside the community. One cooler, one irrigation system, one processing setup, one greenhouse. It all sounds small until you realize how many people downstream are affected by whether or not that farm survives. Another thing these applications reveal is how isolated many farmers feel. I don't mean emotionally, although that too. I mean structurally. A lot of farmers are building solutions and systems that weren't really designed for them, especially these small and mid-sized farms. The industrial food system has enormous infrastructure behind it, from distribution and processing to storage and transportation, insurance structures, supply chains, subsidies, scale advantages. Small farmers are often piecing things together themselves. They're building their infrastructure incrementally, repair by repair, grant by grant, season by season. And after reading hundreds and hundreds of applications, I think many consumers would walk away with a completely different understanding of why local food costs what it does. Because cheap food often depends on hidden systems that somebody else paid for somewhere along the line. Small farms are trying to build those systems themselves in real time. Here's the hopeful part. These applications are also full of ingenuity, problem-solving, persistence, creativity, long-term thinking. Farmers are constantly adapting and testing and improving, stretching resources and finding new ways forward. And despite all of the headlines about division in this country, the one thing that has genuinely moved me is seeing nominations and applications come in from every kind of farm, in every kind of community. Different regions of the country, different production methods, different scales, different political views. But many of the core needs are remarkably similar: water, infrastructure, land access, storage, labor, resilience, community support. The applications become this strange and beautiful reminder that food connects all of us, whether we realize it or not. And maybe that's the biggest thing these 875 applications and 45 project submissions have revealed. Food is not just food. It's infrastructure and weather. It's land and policy. It's logistics and economics. It's resilience and community. And the people producing our food are navigating all of that every day when we don't even see it at all. until now. Thanks for listening to One Bite is Everything, the podcast that connects every bite you take to the bigger world. If today's episode opened your eyes and made you think about farming a little bit differently and your food and the hidden systems behind both, I hope you'll share it with someone else. Because one of the biggest challenges small farmers face is simply being understood. And if you want to support the farmers behind these stories, you can learn more about the For Farmers Movement at forfarmersmovement.com. You can nominate a farmer, support farmer grants, vote in the Friend of a Farmer Choice Awards, or simply spend more time getting to know the people producing your food. You can follow along on Instagram at XOXOFarmGirl for more stories, facts, and conversations connecting food to the bigger picture. If you enjoyed this episode, I hope you'll take a moment to rate and review One Bite is Everything on Apple Podcasts, because it really helps more people like you find the show. The sound design and original music for this episode were created by Russell Chapa. I am your host, Dana DePrima, and I'll see you here again next week for another episode of One Bite is Everything. It's usually an interview. This week, you just got me. Anyway, until next week, eat like it matters, because it does.